Governor OKPEBHOLO to probe OBASEKI over 10 million naira spending on EDO-owned newspaper. Welcome to our channel. This is coming from OKPEBHOLO's desk. It's actually on the pursuit of what the former governor of Edo State, no other person than Governor OBASEKI, GODWIN, is on the pursuit of what he called a revamping of the Edo-owned newspaper house. And because of this, OKPEBHOLO has come up to ask questions, especially what the 10 million naira
is the
that
fact
OBASEKI actually took the money
was,
of the taxpayers to revamp the Edo-owned newspaper house. But it's coming as a shock to him right now, because on his arrival to the visit of the Edo-owned newspaper house, he got to find out that nothing of such had ever happened. As in, the revamping did not take place. Instead, the place was under lock and key, and so therefore he couldn't gain access into the building. So right now, he's coming up to ask questions of what the 10 million OBASEKI took from the taxpayers was actually used for. And as a governor of Edo State, he's the one responsible for every form of accountability. The financial aspect of the state, he's the one responsible for it, despite the fact that he's not the one in charge. But every question that will come from the residents, that will come from Edo State's citizens, will definitely be directed to him, even if he's not the one directly in charge of the finance of the state. But now he's actually coming in as a concern and is intending to probe OBASEKI based on that report, on that amount of money that he claimed to have spent on the newspaper house, which is the Edo-owned newspaper house. And also he's not finding it appealing, or he's not seeing the former governor of Edo State to be one person that is actually sincere and truthful, because according to him, if he claimed to have spent such an amount of money on that project, then he would have met people working in the environment. He would have made the place open, even if the place of the equipment that he wanted to see and be sure that it was bought is not open. At least if people are there working, there's every possibility that if he wants to gain access into the place, he can. But on this note, he's seen it as a shock, he's surprised, and because of this, he's not willing to give up. He's ready to follow it to an end. He's ready to see to it that OBASEKI is being probed, is being questioned, is being put on the note as
to
a custodian
of
Edo State. He has the right to know what
was used.
Each amount of money is being used for. Although every of these politicians we know, they have their ways with money, especially when with finance, especially when they have personal interest. They won't come up to this. They won't come online to say, to come up to the media to say this is what they need money for, if it's their personal interest or so. But this one, he's taking it up so hard. And if you agree with me, the governor of Edo State has not been in a good page, has not been on a good page with the former governor of Edo State, which is Governor OBASEKI. Yeah, some things must have gone wrong. Some things must have conspired between them both, especially the fact that OBASEKI's intended governorship candidate for Edo State did not emerge. Instead, OKPEBHOLO emerged as the governor. He was the one that won the election. And, because of that alone, there would definitely not be peace among themselves. So every opportunity to probe, or rather to bring OBASEKI to the light, to bring him to a standing order, to give an explanation of what was spent when he was in power, he would take that opportunity. He will grab it with all his hands. Well, I don't know if there is an inner challenge between them. If there's been an inner crisis, there has been an existing war between them. But every successor will definitely have one or two reasons why his or her predecessor was at fault. Thank you for staying with us. We'll bring to you the news in full. Especially for the one that Edo State Governor, Senator Monday agreements when they were instead of plans to probe the reported sinking of $10 million in the state-owned newspaper to a punishment. The Nigerian Observer by the immediate past governor of the state, and this Godwin Obaseki. Governor OKPEBHOLO disclosed this when he led the top officials of his administration on an unscheduled visit to the premises of the newspaper outfit to inspect facilities on ground. From all this, the governor and his entourage were shocked as they could not gain access to the buildings where all the machines purportedly bought by the previous administration were kept. Do you think a statement signed by the chief press secretary to Governor OKPEBHOLO, Fred Itwa, on Tuesday said Obaseki's special advisor on I want to know what media project, Crusoe Osage, as well as the publicity secretary of Edo State PDP Caretaker Committee and former Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Osa Nehikare, were the foot soldiers used by Obaseki on the project. The once vibrant newspaper organization was closed by Obaseki for the purpose of revamping it and ensuring it competes favorably with other national dailies. But instead of delivering on his administration's promise to Edo people, the media house has been worse off. OKPEBHOLO, who was not happy as he could not gain access to the facility, promised to revisit the premises again to inspect the buildings and see for himself the machines Obaseki claimed to have bought with taxpayers' money, it was stated. Also, he quoted the governor saying, "I was in the premises of the Observer newspaper company to see for myself the money claimed to have been spent by the former governor Godwin Obaseki on revamping the state-owned media outfits. The former governor claimed to have used $10 million to revamp the newspaper house just before election. Everywhere was locked because there was nothing inside. I could not even see a cleaner in the premises, as those we met on the ground were not those working there. I need to be there again myself, and I need to inspect the buildings housing the equipment bought by the previous administration led by Godwin Obaseki. I will check inside the buildings myself to be sure that the machines are there. I can't really say for now if there are machines because I couldn't go inside. If the place was working, people would have been there, especially considering the resources spent there. Edo people need to ask what happened to their money spent on revamping the Observer newspaper. I am here as their governor to provide them with the answers. Hence, the visit to the organization became necessary." Please, viewers, if this is your first time, please click on the subscribe button, click on the like and share. Thank you for staying with us.